Hello. So we have received a new question, which is a very pragmatic and practical question, and it has come in through response to a original source eternal post on addiction that goes like most of our addictions are an attempt to forget ourselves. So to this, Shivani is asking that how to reduce our phone attention, and it's quite a broad question because it can be related to anything, any kind of a addiction or an attention which is going in surplus towards any particular thing. It could be social media, video games, it could be any affliction, anything that is going towards a point of becoming an addiction for someone. So, why I called this as a pragmatic or a practical question is because it is coming out of some sort of an understanding of one's life. As to the questioner here, Shivani is understanding that what is the thing that is stopping her, or she's able to observe her patterns and she's able to see that her time is going inadequately to a particular aspect of her life, something of an object which is a tool which she should be using. Rather, what is happening is the tool, it ends up using you. There is a quote which I have elaborated on in the previous videos, which is on what you own, it ends up using you. What you own, it ends up owning you. And this is not an uncommon thing. It happens many times to many of our human faculties, that what we intended to have for a particular purpose, it overpowers and then it ends up driving us towards something which we never envisaged, which we never imagined in our lives. So firstly, it is a good point. It is a good starting point to at least understand and realize that what you're having, the thing that you are doing in your life. Our life is a sequence of multiple years. When you look at it more closely, it becomes a sequence, a shrinkla of months. Then when you maybe become more consciously, you start looking at it in terms of weeks, then in terms of days, and then in terms of moments. A person who starts becoming conscious about these things, they start understanding the limited time that they have, and that's why it becomes very important to manage it, because you understand the temporary nature of our existence. You start valuing every moment that you have, and you have started doing that, so that's a great thing. When you look at not doing something that is becoming detrimental to you anymore, you look at one approach, which is usually what one looks at, or what one's parents or society or teachers tell you, is to abstain from it. Now, this is something that works certainly in the short run, that you stop using it at all. Maybe you stop using it completely, you put a timer, or you give you the password of your social media to someone else. So that is a possibility, but it is still somehow not the perfect solution. And why I say that is because if your mind is attuned in a way to try to get something out of an object, or to get some sort of a satisfaction, you are doing what you are doing because you are getting some sort of a satisfaction out of it, which might be debatable. Is it really some satisfaction that will last? Is it really making you grow, or is it something very temporary and superficial? So when you abstain, you usually tend to instead of being with some sort of an addiction, you tend to just jump onto the other one, which one can see that if someone is not using a particular social media app, they start spending time on another one. If someone is not using their phone, they tend to waste time on their devices, maybe their PC. What this argument is basically trying to drive down on is that we find out ways and techniques to misuse our time. So, in the end, everything, the crux of the matter of not wanting to waste time, because your intention behind your question is also towards going to a space where you understand that something that you are doing need not be done anymore. So where it heads toward is firstly understanding this, that what the problem is, and you have started doing that. That's why you want to refrain from it. And once you understand that the problem is not about the phone as such, it is about your time being limited and you wanting to spend it in a very productive and beautiful way, which gives you some sort of a learning, that gives you some sort of a connection towards life in general. So why not tackle this menace at the very basic level? Why would you not find a good cause, a good work to dedicate yourself towards, spend your time thinking of a meaning, a purpose? You can also look at the previous videos where we talked about work on purpose, because that will distill the actions or the time you spend on your phone to make it productive. Right now, usually when people associate time with their phone or their other devices, it usually is some sort of a action that is dedicated towards entertainment or wasting one's time or just being occupied in a way, because we are so scared of being alone on our own. So we want some sort of a distraction to not go into deep thoughts or think about what is happening or where we are headed. So that is the major reason why we tend to go towards any kind of an addiction. So once you connect, you become more in touch with yourself, and you are able to see that the time that you spend now on your devices, your phone, even on social media, is dedicated towards growing something. You become, even if you want to become connected through social media or any of your apps, you see that you do it in order to generate some sort of a growth, in order to fulfill some purpose. So once one narrows down to what they want, what they really want to do, what they love in life, they are then able to dedicate their time towards it. And the use of any devices or any tool, it becomes a pathway towards achieving it. So summarizing it again, it comes down to first understanding the basic awareness which you have shown over here, that you don't want your time to get wasted, and from that, building upon that, making it as a remembrance in your mind that where your time is going is where you don't want to dedicate it towards. So once that remembrance sets in, you would yourself become more conscious. An internal process will start within you, which will make you conscious towards where your time is heading. And once you do that, you reconnect with your nature, which is the second point. You see what is important to you, and you make, instead of totally abstaining from the device and becoming a part of the cycle where you go towards it, you abstain from it, then you go again towards it, and just getting stuck in a loop, you tend to look deeper and see what you really want out of the device. And once you become connected to that core cause, you are able to use it well. Because the same devices that we use to waste time or bring ourselves to a very tumultuous state can be used to reach great goals and achieve great heights. And this purpose, this higher thing that is being talked about, it could be anything that you like, something that gives you meaning, something is enriching to you. I know that you are a good dancer, so it could be dedicating time to honor your craft, working on your art. It could be dedicating your time towards anything that is enriching the quality of your life or for people around you. So there you need not limit your imagination to wonder as to how you could spend it. It's just that anything that comes to your mind and you feel like you want to explore it. So it's just about the outlook of love towards yourself and towards anything and everything that is surrounding you. Hope that answers it.